What's up everybody, it's Rusty Clutch here and welcome back to Pikmin 2. In today's episode we're going to be returning to the Valley of Repose because it's literally the only thing that we can do. So yep, let's land in this area. As you can see, there's kind of snow in this little corner of the map, and then there's like green spring I guess on the other side of the map, which is weird that you can have different seasons going on at the same time, but hey, I'm not going to judge the game. I'm going to let it live, you know? So yeah, the onion returned with us to the surface. I believe that's what the ship is going to tell us right now. Good morning, workers. Ready for another day of toiling for the profit of your company? No, I am not, senor. And yep, the pigmen are still asleep inside. So walk over and call them out just like in the first game. I'm looking up its butt. Looking up the butt of the onion. So right now we have a measly 20. But all that will change very soon, my precious. So we're going to knock these pellet posies down, collect these real quick. They do a nice little flip just to show that they're excited. I'll leave Louis there so that he can pick the new Pikmin, and we will begin to explore. So I'm going to drop 5 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that was 6. Maybe I don't know how to count, but we're fine. As you can see, there's not another Duracell battery because that would be weird. And there is a couple of posies over here, I believe. Yes, brought Pikmin just in case. Alright, put 2 of you on this, or 1 I guess. Put 2 of you there, 2 of you there. Wow, I can't do anything right. And go on that. Go with him, go with him. Help him out. Okay, cool. And I will hold you. This is actually a pretty good tactic. I'm gonna come check over here. There is no Pikmin, no pellets over there. A good tactic if you're like trying to explore something and you need a Pikmin, you just take one and you just hold on to him, and you don't let go because he's safe as long as you're holding him. Because if he gets hurt, it means you got hurt, which, you know, that's just bad news bears. Waiting for this sucker. Come on, come on, you're almost there. I believe. You can do this. You can do this. Okay, so maybe I should pluck these. Oh, let me call Louis. Hey, Louis, come here. Help me pluck these. You're just standing there lollygagging. What is wrong with you? Oops. Pick the freaking things. Let's go. Let's go. Come on. Dang, how long does it take to... Does it have to hit the 3rd dot? How long does it take to grow this? I don't want to break it before it comes, before it sprouts, because then I'll lose it. I won't be able to. Oh, there we go. Harvest it. All right, there we go. Let's wait for those guys. The Pikmin actually sprout quite a lot faster in this game than they do in the first one, which is nice. 'Cause you don't gotta wait around as long. I'm going to come and break down this wall real quick and get this guy. Cool little tactic is if you wiggle the C stick as you're throwing him, you can throw him faster, which surprisingly works on this emulation as well as the actual game. Well, I mean, it works in the actual game, but the fact that it works on the emulation too is dope, because there's times where, you know, I start playing claw basically. Claw is referring to back in the old trick shotting days, people had to like do weird positions with their hands. So basically what I do is I take my left hand off the left joystick and I move it to the right control stick, and I start flicking it really fast with my left hand while I repeatedly tap the throw button as fast as possible. And if you get it down, you can get some, like, you know, like some really good throws like that. A little out of practice, but you know, as the series goes on, I will get better. So our measly 20 has now become a formidable 53, which, while it is not the biggest army you can have, it is good enough to do what we need to do, at least for today. We may need more later, but that is later. We shall think about right now. And right now we have one thing standing in our way. This guy. We also have that wall, but this guy is our main objective here, because he's blocking us from getting that item over there. So, going to bum rush him. It is still a valid strat. Haha. Wait a second. Wait a second. Okay. I need 35. And go there. And there. Okay, perfect. 36. Ah. One extra. What? I was getting stuck there. What the heck? Is there an invisible wall? Hello? Why was I getting stuck? Oh, maybe I had 37. Whatever. Alright. So, treasure and more Pikmin. Which is exactly what we want. I'm actually surprised that I didn't lose any Pikmin to this guy, because 53 is good, but I'm pretty sure 60 is the guaranteed bum rush kill. And anything below that, you're kind of fighting with fire. So, if I wasn't out of practice with my throwing, I would have done throwing. Because usually, like if I get a really good C-stick mash while throwing, I can get about 25 on his back by the time he shakes off the first time. And at that point, it's pretty much bad news bears for him because he's dead. So, I gotta work on that. Maybe I'll do some thumb ups. You know what I mean? Just 1, 2, 3, just to get my thumbs back in shape. But we'll see. We'll see. You know, no promises. All right, get these guys going, and then they're come put these suckers on here. Come on, help out your people. How about your brothers and sisters? And we will begin to pluck. Try to time it so that we start plucking and then the new Pikmin pop up right at the time that we are plucking the last of the old Pikmin. Efficiency. Efficiency is key in this game. That's why it's called a real-time strategy game. So this is called Utter Scrap, which makes sense because it's just a can that's smooshed. Also, I didn't say it there. I probably should have. This game, in the first game, you can kind of see the perspective. But in this one, it really puts stuff in perspective on how small you are. Because, like, the battery was bigger than us. That can, we could literally fit, like, inside of the hole. Hey, bro. Stand up, dude. And, yeah. And that's a paper bag. And it, like, literally needed 35 Pikmin to smash it. Because it was so massive. Those are those really good paper bags. What do you guys do when you guys go to the store? You get paper or plastic? I'm a plastic kind of guy. It's weird how that came back, you know? Like, oh, paper, plastic. Now, and then, like, for a while, it was just like you grabbed your bags. But now California has the 5-cent tax, which literally was the dumbest idea ever, but whatever. What is this? It looks like an arena. That's a bag. Is this a manhole? Let's zoom out. This is literally a manhole. Like a manhole cover. I don't think I've ever noticed that before. I thought, for some reason, I always thought this was like an arena. But it's not. It's a manhole. And then more tutorial. Yay. Thank you, sir. Yeah, this is a manhole. Interesting. You know, I don't see very manholes, so that would make sense. And this is like the curb, probably. Yeah. We're just like on the side of the street. Okay, okay. Still kind of adjusting to the controls, trying to fix the camera angles. So we could go this way, but that's water. So, looks like the only thing we can do is come explore this weird looking hole. What is this? It is interesting. Warm air is welling up from the hole in the ground before you. What could lie underground? What is wrong? You both show expressions of unease. Do not fear, the leader's group of Pikmin will join you. I shall dispatch my research pod too. Approach the hole and press A to jump in. Or it probably should be like, press A. Approach the hole and press A. Because they don't know what the A button is. So yeah, a big thing that makes or breaks what if people like Pikmin 2 or not is caves. Because you're going to be in a lot of caves in this game. So of course you can see up there at the top, those are hazards. I'll explain them later once we get to encounter hazards. But, you know, enter hole yes or no, how many treasures you've collected out of the hole, and how many Pikmin entering with you. So yeah, definitely. There's nothing else I can do, so how about we jump on in. So like I said, if you like caves, you love Pikmin 2. If you don't, yeah, it's, you know, you kind of don't like Pikmin 2 because a good majority of this game, I mean, there is above ground portions, but you spend more time underground than you do above ground, which, you know, was a cool change of pace. I like it. Very different from the first game. But at the same time, the caves can be some of the most nerve-wracking stuff ever. Like, anxiety inducing sometimes. So yeah, he comes in here with us, follows us, and what are we here for? Treasure. So let's go find some. Where's it? Okay, this way. So the thing with these floors is that all of them are randomly generated. Every floor is randomly generated. So if I were to reset the game right now, it saves after each floor. So if you have like a really bad floor, you can literally just restart and like to no consequence of you. So like say you do really bad, you just hit the restart button and you try again. But I'm gonna try to avoid that as much as possible. You definitely want to collect all the treasures on each floor because that's what you're here for. You can also collect the enemies, but they're not really worth much. And he'll say something right now because he doesn't like these guys in his ship. So he literally eats it. Like he just sucks it up, which is kind of scary because that's a really big item that he fits in a really small area. This is a citrus lump, which makes sense because it's like a mandarin. Mandarins are citrus fruit, I believe. Yes, citrus, yeah. Team citrus. So underground, we are not able to breed Pokemon or raise Pokemon. So whenever we return an enemy to a ship that we've killed, he counts it as money. But right now he says, "How can you possibly consider this beast a treasure? Beasts are incompatible with my circuitry. I suppose I will store your finds in my hold." So yeah, he doesn't think they're worth much, which they're not. Like, I believe these guys are worth like 1 coin. Oh, we got the 7-Up. And the second product placement. Unless the mandarins are like some special mandarin. We have the quenching emblem, which is just another bottle cap, which is cool. So yeah, if you listen really close though, you hear the that means that all the actual items on this floor are taken care of now. Okay, now these are worth 2 coins a piece, or 2 Pokos a piece. But yeah, so mainly what you want to collect from every floor is the actual treasure items, because those are worth the most. The enemies are worth a little bit, but in the grand scheme of things, I mean, I guess they're not worth much. So he says, "This hole appears to be quite deep. My sensors indicate more treacherous terrain ahead." Alright, so basically the gist is there's multiple levels to each cave, so we're going to a deeper level. I just collect the enemies though because like I had to kill those enemies, so I'm not just gonna leave them laying around. I'm gonna take them back with me. You know what I mean? Like I had to fight them to kill them, especially if I lose Pikmin to them. Oh heck no! Like I'm taking them with me. There's no way that I'm not gonna take them back. But yeah, and then whenever you're on the final floor, it says final floor. I'm always facing the wrong way. So I mean, it's nothing like special. This is just a tutorial cave. God, my aim is terrible. So you know, only 2 floors, but still, very important stuff, you know, going on, like learning very important things. So here we go. We found a big item. He says, "It is inconceivable that such an immense object has been buried here for so long. The design on the outer shell resembles the surface of this planet as seen from space." Wait. Perhaps this can be used for something other than salvage. You mean to tell me that Earth is circular? And not just circular, but a semicircle? What is this? Blasphemy. Take that, flat earthers. And also, like he said, it takes more than 100 Pikmin. So just to stick it to you, you need 101. And if you have ever played Pikmin before, you'd probably asking yourself at this point, wait, 101? You can only have 100 Pikmin out on the field at one time. Is it different in caves? And to that I say no. It is exactly the same. Viewer, very insightful viewer. You are exactly right. Oh gosh. Just making sure I try not to lose any. That one right there on the slope always gives me a little trouble because he's on the slope, and sometimes it messes me up. But yeah, we cannot have more than 100 Pikmin in the field at one time, which is why we come across these bad boys. So like he said, it's warmer down here, so it only makes sense that flowers grow down here. That's how science works. I mean, I'm an engineer. Astounding! A flower blooms in a cave deep beneath the snowy landscape. Clearly, it is warmer down here than above. Look, the Pikmin are restless. So basically, it tells us to toss them into the flower. Which, I don't know about you, but I really don't need any, like, motivation. Or, like, I don't need anybody to tell me to throw the Pikmin in here. Like, the first thing we did when we found Pikmin was, like, okay, we plucked them, right? But the second thing we did was, like, what if we throw them? So, my first reaction when I see a flower is, maybe I should just throw the Pikmin in here and see what happens. So, yeah. Now we meet probably my favorite type of Pikmin of all time. And boom. Boom. Purple Pikmin. Purple Pikmin are literally sumo wrestlers. So they're very heavy and very strong. So of course these guys aren't in the first game because Olimar never goes in caves, so he never comes across these flowers. But they are an integral part of Pikmin 2. And like he said, they are very strong and very heavy. Which we now see the heavy part right now, as they slowly, like, fall behind the rest of my red Pikmin. Like, you know, the red Pikmin fall behind, the purple Pikmin really fall behind. So I kind of got to baby them all the way up this curve. So another thing he said is that they're also very strong, which, now with these Pikmin, if we put them on here, you guys will see that one purple Pikmin actually equals the strength of 10 regular Pikmin. So we might only have 70 Pikmin, but we technically have 131, or let's see, put these guys on here. Let's see how much we have total. We have, let's see, we have 160 of strength, basically, or lifting power. Hey, bro, get on there. Do your job. Because of the, so we have 60 regular reds, so that's just 60, and then we have the 10 purple, so that gives us 160 lifting power. So now we can lift this guy. Oh, look it. Can I zoom in? What does that say? Does that say India? What kind of... Is this like... I think this is in Chinese or Japanese. Because it's definitely not English. Those are like little symbols. So yeah, these guys are pretty nifty. You know what I mean? Pretty nifty. And every time that you see like these bright lights behind something, it's because it's a special item. So this is the Spherical Atlas, worth $200. And he says that there is a device resembling a microchip embedded inside the sphere. Retrieving data. Error. I could only decode a portion of the data, but I did retrieve new geographic charts. I will input this data into my planetary database and name it the Sphere Chart. Alright, and then he's telling us to check out the Explore Kit. So, I haven't done this yet, but if we pause the game, I gotta zoom out, that's too close. And it heard, I don't know if you heard it, but it made the sound again, saying all the items are picked up. So this is our like HUD or whatever. Or not our HUD, this is like our menu system here. So you can only see the cave that you've explored so far. So we've explored all the caves so we can see all of it. Also, this is the first cave, so they might baby us a little bit, not too sure. It also shows us on the left here the Pikmin inside the onion, inside the rocket, because the purple Pikmin go inside the rocket. The ones that are with us and the ones that are free. If we go to the left here, we get our items, which these are special items that can help us along our journey. So like we found the sphere chart. So that is an item that helped us expand our map. So now it's right there in the bottom left. They're treasure, but also like help, like it's like we're double dipping basically. We use it, but we're also going to sell it. And then continue and give up and escape. And it also shows our totals and stuff. Give up and escape. Basically, you enter a dungeon, yeah, basically a dungeon. You enter a cave that you're like unprepared for. You weren't like had the right setup of Pikmin, or you're just like struggling, or you lose a lot and you just want to give up. The problem with giving up and escaping is that you have to forfeit all of your items. So it literally is like, if you lose a lot of Pikmin, it's a waste, because you literally don't get any of those Pikmin back, and you didn't get any items, so you went down there for nothing. So sometimes I just stick it out to the end and just bite the bullet. So yeah, there's just this random geyser underground, and there's a hole up there. So the only logical thing to do is to turn around and never come back. But we're not logical, and we're gonna jump in this thing, and all of our Pikmin are gonna follow us. You hear like the one last guy at the end, like, whoa. So this is the end screen to a cave, and it will say cave complete if you collect all the items inside the cave. So pretty easy cave. There's only 3 items, so we get the 3 out of 3 with the flag. It tells us right there how much the enemies were worth, so 22. So it pales in comparison to literally any of the items we got. But hey, 22 bucks is 22 bucks. The faster we get to the total, the better, right? Because we're trying to pay off this damn this loan that we had to take out because we lost all of our pick carrots. All right. So normally at any other time in our adventure, when we leave a cave and we come back, we would have the rest of the time. So like say we enter a cave at a quarter day, when we leave the cave we're back at a quarter day. Sometimes it can throw you off, especially if you've been in a cave for a long time and you come out and it's like the morning and you're like, whoa, what happened here? But yeah. So he says, you have successfully returned to the planet's surface. Excellent decision making, gentlemen. Yes, we must celebrate our expedition. So I shall send a report back to the president tonight detailing your progress. But of course, because they're still kind of holding our hand a little bit and tutorial stuff, they're going to end our day right here. But it actually makes sense because there's literally nothing else we can do until we get blue Pikmin. As you guys saw, there was the water directly to our right there. So he says, Olimar and Louie, since you will explore a new area tomorrow, today's work is done. And then we say to him, what? You still want to work? Unacceptable. You may not realize it, but you are exhausted. I mean, it is a little late and I do have work tomorrow, but yeah. This is a very important thing that he states here, is that you should take as much needed rest. You should take a much needed rest because we have all the time we need to collect treasure. Which is weird because loans usually accrue interest, but that's, I guess loans don't accrue interest in the Hokutashin world. So in the first game you had the 30-minute time limit, right? The 30-day time limit, which was a little stressful at first, but once you get the hang of the game, it's not too bad. Pikmin 2, you have endless days, so you can literally be going for about 200 days in like the first area if you want. Just like constantly going to sunset and just messing around. What happens is the longer you play the game, the harder the enemies are, like the new harder enemies spawn and stuff. And the third game I think really kind of fixes that. It's almost endless, but at the same time kind of not really, because it works on like these fruit juices you have to collect. It's pretty cool. I like the way they did that one. Holding out for that Pikmin 4 though. So yeah. The past 2 videos we've ended at the end of day screen. Both our Pikmin went up, which is good. But this will not be a normal occurrence. Just so happened that today and the first day, it was easier just to do them as separate videos just because there's a lot of tutorial stuff. From here on out, videos are going to be probably about 20 minutes each, and they will not always end at the end of the day. They may end just in the middle of a cave or something. So the president says, baby steps first, Olimar. Plan well, and don't worry about me. Our debt is with Happy Hokudate Savings and Loan, after all. Besides, there's nothing left to repossess, so ha! Yep, when there's nothing else for them to take, there's literally only one way you can go, and that is up, which is what we're trying to do here. That's the whole means of this operation. So now we zoom out a little bit, and we see the Awakening Wood. So yeah, we'll be exploring that next time. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Peace.